Hi, I'm Brian C. Smith with EWM Realty International in Miami Beach. As both a realtor and someone who has rented and owned properties, I understand the challenges you face when deciding to buy or rent a property. This video will offer an analytical tool that is useful when trying to decide whether you should buy or rent. Please keep in mind, it is best to seek the help of licensed and certified professionals when making a decision like buying or renting. I am not an attorney, I am not a financial planner, and I am not a CPA. The purpose in me sharing this video is to provide just one tool that you may find useful in your decision-making process. Let's start with a definition. IRR is the internal rate of return. The IRR is a guideline for evaluating whether to proceed with a project or investment. The IRR rule states that if the IRR on a project or an investment is greater than the minimum required rate of return, typically the cost of capital, then the project or investment should be pursued. Conversely, if the IRR on a project or investment is lower than the cost of capital, then the best course of action may be to reject it. In layman's term, the IRR is a tool that allows you to calculate the present day value of a decision today based on future cash flows and decisions you expect to make in the future. For our calculation, we are making an assumption that you need to buy or rent, and there are no other alternatives. Therefore, we will subtract the value of the rent decision from the value of the buy decision. If the IRR is positive, it suggests you should buy, and if the IRR is negative, it suggests you should rent. When you decide to buy or rent a property, keep in mind there are lots of variables. The variables are dictated by the market, the timing of your decision, the magnitude of your decision. For this example, I inputted some typical numbers a person living in Miami might encounter. As you make changes, you will see various results to the tool. I suggest going directly to the source to verify the present day value of items like insurance, property tax rate, etc., to make sure your results are as accurate as possible. Walk through the tool from top to bottom. Here is the IRR tool. Okay, so here is the tool. You'll notice right here we've got your inputs and assumptions. So this is everything from home purchase price, percentage of down payment, private mortgage insurance, purchase closing costs, mortgage rate, property tax rate, home insurance costs per year, and things like your maintenance. So I've gone ahead and plugged in some values that might be very typical for the Miami area. But you can make these values whatever you'd like them to be. You know, for example, I put in $500,000 for my home purchase price. If you like, you could go ahead and put in $450,000. Okay. Originally had in here 10% as a down payment. Let's go ahead and put in 20%, and then that way we don't have to worry about putting in a number for our PMI. Okay. We'll keep the purchase closing costs at 2.5%, mortgage rate at 4.5%, property tax rate at 2.1%, keep the home insurance cost per year at $5,000, and the maintenance costs per year at $15,000. Now you notice I've got some notes out here in column D. For example, your PMI is going to typically be between probably about 0.3 and 1.5%. Your closing costs, you know, it could be 2.5, maybe 2 to 5%. I went ahead and put 2.5 in there. All these numbers could change, you know, depending upon the day, the time, etc. And like I said in the previous slide, I would recommend you go to the source and figure out what those exact numbers should be. But here's some ballpark numbers we can use for our $500,000 purchase, okay? Now, where I'm at, where I do a lot of real estate in the Miami area is Edgewater. And a typical rental for a $500,000 house is probably about $3,000 per month. Okay, so that's why it says monthly savings on rent of $3,000. I also put in a marginal income tax rate of 28%. That's a good number to get from your CPA or whoever prepares your taxes. As well as I've got the average annual home price appreciation in there. I just went ahead and plugged in 3.7%. But you could use whatever number you want for all these different values. Now, if you scroll down on the tool, what you will see here is for this example that I did, I've got an IRR of 5.94%. And what that means is the return from homeownership was greater than the cost, or the comparison rather, to the IRR of rent. So in this case, it's saying, if everything works out the way you plugged in the variables, buying could be a very wise decision. What I want you to notice here is one of the other inputs that's put into the equation or the calculation is the time spent in the house in years. That's a very significant part of the calculation. Let's change that to 3 years and see what happens. Okay? You'll notice as soon as I change this to 3%, now my IRR is negative. Okay? So realize just something as easy as saying, hey, I'm going to move within 3 years instead of 10 or 20 or 30 years is significant on this IRR calculation. And a neat part about the tool, if you scroll down, is you can see sensitivity testing across a range of home prices and a range of rental costs. I hope this video has been informative for you, and I look forward to helping you with real estate matters. Please contact me for a copy of the spreadsheet. Please see the YouTube notes for my contact information.